thingy is recording. So, I asked people for questions, and I got some questions. And I got some other things about dramatic readings, which there will be in a moment. I mean, not like in a moment, but later. It's not like that's a measurement of time in this instance. I will answer my first question, which wasn't technically was a directive, not a question. But this timeline fucking sucks. Wide array of nods. Please list 3 AUs you would rather be in right now, or describe one AU in great detail. I mean, what exactly describes great detail? Because the first AU that comes to mind is the fact that we were promised that if Hillary won, fucking taco trucks on every corner, and that would have been the best ad campaign ever, and it wouldn't have been followed up on. We wouldn't have had taco trucks on every corner, but why would that have been a problem? Who doesn't love taco trucks? I mean, that's not a threat. That's not a threat at all. As this video is going on, I'm going to illustrate the fact that when they tell you, do not touch your face, I am so fucked. Because I touch my face constantly. In the way that I talk. Because I use my hands a lot. And maybe that's why it's a whole big problem in Italy. Because they talk with their hands a lot. I don't know. But yeah, I was on a video chat for a D&D campaign that I was going to be playing in, that I am going to be playing in. It just didn't. We didn't have a session today because people didn't. There weren't. Some of the players didn't show up. But it was interesting watching. It was interesting because we're in a video chat. We're in a Google Hangouts chat, which has the video. And it's interesting because you realize, you watch people and see how much they touch their face, when they're not even thinking about it. And that is just a thing. That's just a thing. So yeah, one AU I would like to live in, the one where we had taco trucks on every corner, because who doesn't fucking love taco trucks? Come on, people. It's not a threat. We love. There's a problem with America where we love the products of immigrants, like Mexican food, but not necessarily the immigrants themselves. And that runs throughout history. Jewish delis, and the Chinese and Irish workers on the railroad. We like the products of having these immigrants in our nation. But the country itself does not necessarily historically appreciate them. And that's fucked up. We know that. I don't think that was really very detailed in a question of other AUs. So 2 more that I would like to be living in. One more, we have taco trucks on every corner. One where Nikola Tesla's inventions in the 1920s led to sort of a global spread of power, electricity availability. I think if that research had been available in the 20s, had done what it was purported to do, then the way that we would have developed as a global culture and as a society and we would have built on that technology. Would have been very interesting. And my third option. So there's a like a D20 modern setting that came out around third edition, called X-Crawl, which, as far as I knew, I was the only. I mean, like, I'm not saying I'm the only person who had ever heard of it. I had never spoken to other people who knew of it until just today, where the DM of the campaign I was going to be playing in, or I'm going to be playing in, it'll be a podcast later on in the near future, was talking about X-Crawl, and it's like a modern day setting where D&D fantasy races exist, and dungeon crawls are like filmed and broadcast like pay-per-view events, which would be amazing. Was that tilted? Maybe it's tilted now. I don't know. Which would be amazing, and I like the idea of there being like a modern urban fantasy sort of setting. I feel like that would be, in theory, more interesting than our current timeline. In practice, probably more crushingly oppressive, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. But I mean, I can hope. Describe my life using only one word. How would I describe my life using only one word?
I don't know.
My lovely wife.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
One word?
One word. I mean, that's the question.
Nerdy?
Nerdy is good. I was gonna say
Punny.
Punny? Okay. Punny is her suggestion, which you probably heard. I was going to say surprising in some ways, because there are just ways I would not necessarily have predicted it going like 10 years ago, something like that. But I mean, those are not bad things. They're good. So there's your one word. Or like 4 different words to choose from. Maybe 3. I'm not paying attention. My next question. I get rambly when I'm sober too. That's not necessarily a drunk thing. My next question. Is there sand in Las Vegas? I've always wanted to know. Yes. Yes, there is. It's a desert. I mean,
I'm sure they also truck it in for like the day beach clubs that have like sand.
They probably, yeah, they truck it in for fake beaches.
Yeah.
There's also the Sands Corporation, the Sands Casino. Is the Sands Casino still a thing?
No. I don't think so.
It must have closed down at some point, but I mean...
There's the Sands Convention Center, but I don't think it's actually a casino anymore.
It operated from 1952 to 1996.
Wasn't that part of the one that was blown up in the sands and dunes thing?
Oh, was it? I don't know.
I don't know. Or that's just the dunes? I don't
know. The Sands Hotel and Casino. It was the 7th hotel to open on the Strip, or 7th resort. Yes, it was imploded and demolished, and the Venetian was built in its place. So, but yeah, there's sand, like, because it's a desert. And I don't necessarily have something to elaborate on that. I mean, what's the difference between sand and dirt?
I believe there's granule size and you really gonna make them watch you look this up?
Yeah, people are going to watch me Google this. Difference
You're-
between sand and dirt. The difference between dirt and sand is that dirt is an unclean matter and granule material composed of finely divided rock and mineral particles. Sand particles range in diameter from 0.063. I think it's, sand is smaller granularly, which is what she said. Because she's smart. What? My next question is most romantic relationship in history. Go.
I mean, are you talking real or fake?
I'm assuming real.
Okay.
Do you have thoughts on that?
No, most of mine all involve fictional characters. So
I am going to go with I don't know the entire scope of their relationship, but I am going to say for deeply romantic moment, the first thing that comes to mind is Johnny Cash being asked to describe heaven, and his answer being something like this morning having breakfast with her about his wife, which is just like, that's just the sweetest fucking thing. And yeah, so that's all I'll go with for my answer. And I think those are all the questions I have for right now. I have some other things that are dramatic readings, which I will get to in a moment. There
I
was
questions too, but we can do those in a separate video.
Okay, we can do those in a separate video. Okay. Yeah. All right. Then I'll stop this and upload it and deal with things. So, talk to you later, Internet.